Welcome to CSNS News. I'm Emma.
And I'm Emily. In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country. In the form of woolen graffiti, scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We help them find it. And the latest in weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house as a tourist attraction, which they say is also a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on its roof and has steel beams attached to the attic inside the house, and there are beds screwed to the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, and even an upside-down kitchen. There's upturned bathrooms, though no one's ever seen anyone have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick or dizzy about just after a few minutes inside. Now we cross over to our reporter Katie, who was inside the house. How are you feeling, Fergus and Charlotte?
Thanks, Studio. I'm here with the owners of the Upside Down House, and I'm feeling very upside down at the moment. Now, what made you have this idea about building this house?
We wanted to do it because it's something different, that nobody has a house like this.
And because I thought it would be fun, but in the end I got very sick.
What comment do you feel the house makes about the world?
It's weird to think that outside everyday life is going on as if we weren't even here.
Everybody should have an upside-down house because it's fun and crazy.
What are some of the challenges in living on an upside-down house?
If you think your house is turned upside down, they are the challenges that you'd have.
The hardest thing is going to the loo.
I'd imagine. When you first saw the tourists gaping in at your window, what did you think?
Oh, they should mind their own beeswax.
But you need to understand, you don't see a house like that every day.
Yes, I've never seen an upside-down house before. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Katie from CSNS News.
Over to Lewis and Paige with the stock market report. What's up, guys, and what's going down?
Kia ora everybody, let's have a look at what's fresh in the stock market today. Prices used cooking grease have gone through the roof as oil prices soar around the world. There is even some talk of a black market operating in this country run by grease rustlers who are stealing used cooking oil from fish and chips shops and fast food restaurants. Some experts are saying that any valuable used cooking oil should be collected and kept in the fridge.
Also going up and sharing in the new bacon-flavoured toothpaste created by an American company. Tired of that refreshing minty taste? Now your breath can be pork fresh while your teeth get a dentist improved once over. That same company also makes bacon-flavoured dental floss, soap, bacon bandages, and even bacon air freshener. Is there any bacon cannot do? So there you go, invest in oil and pork. That seems to be the advice of most brokers today. This is making me a little bit hungry. Back to you in the news desk.
Lewis and Paige, thank you, Lewis and Paige. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that make objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects, such as coins, disappear. But hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears, the inventor of the cloak said. It appears they are having trouble finding their things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. But what will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here are our on the spot reporters Kobe and Olivia with more on the story.
Hi, I'm Kobe, and with me today is
Ollie?
one of the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi, Ollie, and thanks for joining me today. What made you want to invent the invisibility cloak?
To give amazing people amazing chances to be invisible.
Can you show me how the invisibility cloak works?
Yep, my minion's showing some right now.
What do you hope you will use this for?
To creep people out.
Can you give funny examples?
Yep. Now there are some crazy examples going on right next to me.
Well, that makes things very clear. Thanks for joining us. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that makes things very clear. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Thanks. And now, how for an interesting yarn. A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country, thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wool-weaving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small jersey and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say this is illegal because they're being done on public property without permission. But the popularity of woolen graffiti is growing, and police warn that if the midnight knitters are caught, soon every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will soon be warmly dressed against the cold. A police spokesman said this problem is spinning out of control. There are close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crime. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over our eyes in both the public and the police. We now go to a secret location with our investigative reporter Waldo, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Newsletter. I'm Jack, and joining me in the top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Bob, and thanks for joining us. What had you into the dark underworld of the knitted graffiti?
Well, my mum was a professional knitter and she knitted almost everything in our house, so I kind of got it off her.
Do you yourself, as a criminal, do you see yourself as a criminal? Why? Why not?
Well, yes I do, because trees and lampposts and other things like that should never have knitted clothes on them.
Why did you choose graffiti knitting for your friend?
Well, I've always wanted to see what normal objects would look like with graffiti knitting on them.
Thanks for your time, Bob, of the Midnight Knitting Gang. Back to you, News Centre.
They'll be warm if they get caught and go to jail. Now let's have a look at the weather up and down the country with Olivia and Peter. What's in store for us, eh?
Starting in the far north in Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat.
In Auckland, there's a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions. But those are the conditions and you'll just have to accept them.
There will be no weather at all in the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday but is expected to be back for the weekend.
In Napier and Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there.
In Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day with no highlights at all. It'll be overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine.
Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no winds at all and the conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme.
In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can always expect to have a good day, sunny and calm in idyllic surroundings. Except for tomorrow, when the weather will be the worst you've ever seen. A real mix for Christchurch.
Which will have some unreasonable rainfalls, some sensible winds, moderate thunderstorms and some very angry snow.
In the lower South Island, Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me.
And me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you.
Now it's back to the news desk with Emma and Emily.
Thanks, guys. Now, just before we go, it's time for 2 Minutes with Paris, who today is talking to a woman who has just become an unusual world champion.
Hello everybody and welcome to 2 Minutes with me, Paris. Joining me today is Courtney. Courtney, who has just won the Burnington Liars Club World Cup, which is a contest to tell the wildest, most outrageous lie and get away with it. So, hello Courtney. What was the lie you told to the judges to win the Liars World Cup?
I flew up to space in a jetpack in 2 minutes.
Okay. Do you lie all the time or is it just when you're in the competitions?
Just when I'm competing.
Okay. Are you lying to me right now? How can anybody trust you or know what if you're lying or not when you won the champions?
They don't trust a thing I say, and I might be lying, you never know.
What is the biggest lie you have ever told?
I jumped off a cliff into a river full of ketchup and I didn't even break my leg.
Well, Thanks for joining me. I'm Paris. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time.